the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time, and the off-season is about to kick into full swing. Horst. So now we need to talk about what the 49ers plan is for the off-season. Is there something that stands out to you that the 49ers have to do, and how should this work out so the 49ers can get back to the playoffs?
First of all, they need to get healthy. Second of all, I think there's a few key positions they need to address either through the draft or free agency. Obviously, it's always better to hit on those positions in the draft because it's cheaper for the foreseeable future. I am not one of those people that happens to think they desperately need a new quarterback. I do think if the right upgrade came along, that'd be great, but it's not their top need. To me, the top need is still to re-sign Trent Williams and hopefully use check and Jason Verrett. After that, I'd say their positions of need would be corner, another pass rusher if D Ford is not going to be healthy and playing, and probably an interior offensive lineman, either a center or a guard, because their interior offensive line did not play up to par last year and played a big role in their issues running the ball.
Yeah, I think for me, the big things and the things that they kind of have to focus on, there's three things that are key. And the first is depth at the DN position. We saw what happened when you don't have Bosa on the field and you got guys like Solomon Thomas going down, when you don't have guys you can rotate in for guys like Kerry Hyde or older players. You need to get some depth there at the D end position specifically, because you have pieces in guys like Kinlaw and guys like Armstead who can kind of flip around and play in a lot of different spots. The second thing is getting young at the DP position, but that doesn't include not signing Jason Verrett. I think the key for getting young at the DP position is having a veteran presence there at the defensive back position. And then the last part of the equation for me that is kind of the glue that holds this team together is preparing for the future of the offensive line. Not necessarily having the answers at the offensive line, but starting to prepare. So drafting a few young guys this year in the draft will help. Some restructuring of some contracts and moving things around. I think getting Trent Williams in is part of that preparation, because part of that preparation is getting some pieces you can build around over the next 3 or 4 years. You don't have to have all of the holes plugged this year, I think, with this O-line, because I do think you can roll with Jimmy and you still have that window open. You can still attack and go after it, but you need to start preparing, because if the plan here is to move off of Jimmy in the next few years, the O-line needs to be in place for when you get that guy in, that young quarterback, because you're not going to have to pay him a lot of money. So if you're spending a little bit more money early on your line, your DBs, things of that nature, then you're not putting as much pressure on your quarterback to perform at a high level when you bring the young guy in, whoever that may be.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the offensive line because, like Horst said, I think that's the most pressing with Trent Williams. I'm going to say that they need to re-sign Trent Williams, and then they need to extend Laken Tomlinson to free up salary to be able to maneuver and make other moves. I think they need to designate Weston Richburg for a post-June 1st cut now. Just with the surgery, I just think it's too questionable to do anything else. So they need to do that. And because they do that, then they need to go ahead and bring back Ben Garland and bring in Alex Mack. Go ahead and stabilize the center position, move Daniel Brunskill to guard. Now you're set. You can still draft someone in the draft, which I would recommend, especially if a Wyatt Davis or somebody like that is available. Then you go ahead and you make that pick. You ride with the guys you got, and then your offensive line is pretty much established. As you move off of that, then you need to bring back Jason Verrett, because that's a huge hole at the DB position. You bring him back, and that stabilizes one side of the defensive secondary. They've already made sure that their secondary at the very deep end, back end, is safe with, Tarvarius Moore, Jimmy Ward, Marcel Harris. They've got enough guys back there. So Jaquiski Tart is gone. And then what they need to do is find the corners. And I think what they will do is I think they will try to bring Ahkello Witherspoon back on the exemption deal, and they'll bring back Emmanuel Mosley on the restricted free agent. Thank you for that pull.
I got you.
On that, and I think they will do that. And I do think they'll draft someone, but I think they want to take the onus off having to draft someone high. That way they can go ahead and select the right guy they want at the right time, and that way, anytime you can already have those holes filled, then it's easier to just grab someone. If one of those guys beats out the other guys, no sweat off of that.
And this is something, too, I think a lot of 49ers fans aren't thinking about. When I say get young at the DB position, that's actually my ideal scenario, is you bring back Verrett, You roll with the two young guys that you already have because Ahkello Witherspoon and Emmanuel Mosley are both 25
Yeah.
years old. They are on the young side. They still got
Exactly.
tons of time.
So the video came out on Tuesday talking about the DBs at every position. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out because we want you guys to see the guys that fit with the 49ers system. And there's a lot in this draft. So the 49ers have a lot of options, especially in the middle to late rounds. There are guys that fit. And I think also big corners that can translate to safety. So there's going to be a lot of options for the Niners. And I think the last kind of the piece that they have to make sure they take care of is Kyle Juszczyk.
Absolutely. They definitely need to take care of Kyle Juszczyk there as well.
Yeah, I think so. Horse, what do you think? You think that there's any other moves that they have to make? Or can they just ride with what we just talked about?
Yeah, you hit it on the head pretty much. I mean, we pretty much all had the same general idea. I think bringing Alex Mack would be ideal because of the success he had playing for Kyle Shanahan and his offense in Atlanta. I honestly think if you bring back Verrett, Witherspoon, and Mosley, you're not forced to take a corner round one.
Yeah.
It would still, if the one you like, say they like Horn or Surtain or, whoever it is they specifically think fits their system and they like, falls to them and bang, then take them. Because, you always, if you feel a guy's great in your system, first round type guy, you still take him. But at this point, it gives them more flexibility in the draft if you bring back those three guys. Because Verrett's definitely starting level. His only issue is injuries. And then Witherspoon really was looking good towards the end of the year. Last year, he gave DK Metcalf a hell of a time when they played Seattle. And Mosley, if you're talking as like your fourth corner, a backup, outside corner, that's a good backup corner to have.
And he could move into the slot as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think Mosley can move inside.
Another guy that I would like to see them bring back that neither of you mentioned, although I definitely wouldn't put him on the tier of, Trent Williams, Juszczyk, Verrett, those guys, is Jamar Taylor.
Yeah.
For the slot. I know he's hurt. He was his knee, right?
Yeah.
But if he can come back healthy, Jamar Taylor was really looking good in the slot before he got injured.
Well, I think Jamar Taylor, too, the option is it him or is it Mosley? I think you're going to choose one of those two guys. So, I mean, that would be the choice. I mean, if you can get Jamar Taylor on a league minimum deal, it might be worth, doing.
Absolutely could be. Let us know what you think down below. Is there an option that we did not hit in terms of off-season planning that you think is more important than any of the things we listed? If so, talk about it down there. Let's have a conversation. And while you're down there, don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell.
Yeah, let us know what your plan for the 49ers would be in the offseason. It is here. It's going to get crazy real fast. And it's going to be exciting. The 49ers are going to find a way. They've done a great job already of managing the players that they need to sign and the players, and the salary cap. So let's see what they end up doing.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this offseason. It's kind of going to be a make or break year. This is a big one for Kyle because there's a lot of people, saying that 1 year might have been a lucky type year and that it was more to do with Robert Saleh than him because they were a defensively led team. So I think I don't personally think that, but I think this is a big make or break year for Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch.
And anyone that says that, just remember the 49ers averaged almost 30 points a game in 2019.
Very accurate there. Very accurate. Until next time, stay safe.
I remember the right way.
It's always the 49ers way.